Okay, so how can we handle the situation of parentheses in an equation? We use what's called the distribution property. Okay, it's a very valuable property. It's one that gets you out of a lot of trouble. Um, Before we jump into how we solve this exact equation right here, let's take a look at this. 2 times 3 plus 5. If we were doing the order of operations, please excuse my dear Aunt Sally, we would do what's inside the parentheses first, and 3 plus 5 is 8, and 2 times 8 is 16. Well, the distribution property is a way that you can get around that. It's a lot longer, but when you have a variable like we do have in this equation, that's where the distribution property really comes in handy. But here's how it works. You take the outside number, in this case the positive 2, and you take a look at the first inside number and you say 2 times 3 is 6. And I'm also doing this, I'm checking to see, is this a positive 2? Yeah. And this is a positive 3, so I'm saying that's positive 6. And then the last thing is do you see this sign right here? It's a plus sign. I'm going to pretend that's connected to the 5, and that makes it positive. So what's 2 times positive 5? 2 times 5 is positive 10. And if you notice, as I wrote positive, I just wrote that plus sign. That's how it's joined together, and 6 plus 10 is 16. The same thing that we said it should have been when we worked it out not using distribution. So that's the reason the property works. But when we look at these equations, it's a little bit different, but still the main idea. Here's an x minus 2 inside parentheses. So we can put a 1 there in front of the x if we want. And now we just distribute. 4 times 1, positive 4 times 1 is positive 4. This x was there, so just slap the x on there with it. And then 4 times, and do you remember how I said I checked to see the sign in front of it? Let's just, I know it's minus 2, but let's call it a negative 2. What's 4 times negative 2? Negative 8. And then that equals 30. We just pull that down, and we have a nice, easy equation to solve. Because negative 8 plus 8 is 0, and 30 plus 8 is 38. And the last thing that we have to do here at this point is just divide. So divide by 4, divide by 4. And yes, I know it's not a nice, easy round number. That's not a problem though. Let's just simplify it. 4 goes into 38 9 times. There's 2 left over. So my answer is just going to be um, 9.5. So let's take a look at this one. Again, there's like an invisible 1 in front of that m because 1 times m would still be m. So we're allowed to do that. Negative 2 times positive 1 is negative 2. The m just comes along for the ride. And then negative 2 times, let's look at that minus sign in front of it. Negative 2 times negative 4 is positive 8 equals 52. And then we can just subtract 8 from both sides. I pull down my negative 2m because I didn't do anything with it. This cancels out and goes away. And I've got this as 44. And since negative 2 is multiplying m, we can divide by it. Do the same to the other side. I know the answer should be negative 22. So again, how do we get rid of the parentheses? We use the distribution property. Negative 6 times negative 4 is positive 24. M comes along for the ride. Negative 6 times negative 6 is positive 36. So I put the plus on there. And then we just pull down our equal sign, and it's just a regular two-step equation. I made this one so that way we get a really nice simple answer and we can do it without a calculator. 36 minus 36 is nothing, and 60 minus 36 is 24. And now all we have to do is divide both sides by 24, and we're done. M would equal positive 1. Um, Look, let's take a look about why my distribution style is different than a lot of other math teachers. There we go. Here's my style right here. Here's the, I guess you call it the normal style. Um, -6 times -4 is positive 24m. And then negative times negative is positive. That'd be 36. Well, when we look at this over here, they always say look at the sign in front of them. And a lot of math teachers go, yeah, that's okay. Negative times negative is 24m. But where it's different is they say pull down this minus sign right here. And then they'd say a negative times a positive 6 is negative 36. And it's just always irked me that this is one extra step. Well, how do you subtract? You keep, change, change. So it becomes 24m plus 36 equals 60. And it's just, I think that if you just go, hey, this is a -6, so the -6 times -6 equals positive 36, and you just use that positive idea as a plus sign or a negative idea as a minus sign, I think it saves you a lot of time and a lot of aggravation. Um, if you like the normal style, though, I would never count you off for it, but I just figured I'd try to save you a little bit of time. If you need some more practice, take a look at my refresher videos. You can pause the video and then solve to see if you got the right answer.